untap, upkeep, and welcome back to the channel if you've been here before. And if you haven't, then please sit back, relax, and enjoy our wacky and wonderful show for you today. So, let's get the camera a little bit better. Um, One of our local gamers at our local game store has really been into the Lord of the Rings scene and was curious as to what all you can actually do. Hmm. Well, that got me thinking because he said one of his favorite characters is Legolas. So, with Legolas as our idea for the deck, of course I had to make it budget because what everybody seems to like, and I seem to be doing pretty good about it. So, all right, let's get into that. And we're gonna see how well we actually did, and we're gonna see what we can possibly do to make it better. So, if you've already liked, shared, subscribed, and rang that bell for notifications, I definitely love and appreciate all of you. I would not be doing this without your love and support. Please share the love. Let's dive in, shall we? So, if we look in, I chose Legolas Master Archer for the commander of this build. So, he's 3 mana for a 1/4 with reach, which is pretty handy because, might be a few dragons out there in the world right now. Just a couple. He has a couple of abilities that make him pretty unique, in my opinion, though. So whenever you cast a spell that targets Legolas, put a 1/1 counter on him. And then whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you don't control, he is going to do damage equal to his power to up to one target creature. So the theory is if we get him up high enough with some of the fight spells and stuff like that, we're able to start killing the board. And I really think that it could be pretty beneficial. This was a pretty hard deck to do on a budget just because you really want to have a lot of spells. Go away, notification. We don't like you. Ruining video. Go away, shoo shoo. Anyways, on a budget, we're trying to get a lot of fight spells or things that can target Legolas. You could probably take it a couple of different ways. I mean, you probably could make it more like almost Voltron, if you will, more like Garm Voltron, if that makes any sense. I didn't quite go that route, so let's kind of look and see what my messed up head came up with, shall we? So we're not too heavy on our creatures, but we have some interesting ones. Old school classic Acidic Slime has Death Touch as a 2/2 for 5 mana, and when he comes into play, I can blow up an artifact, enchantment, or a land of my choice. It doesn't even have to be my opponent's. So if there's something on our battlefield that we're having, we're not jiving really good with, we can always get rid of it. There could be something that like an opponent enchanted or cursed or whatever that we can't get rid of their permanent for whatever reason. Like maybe it has hexproof and we can't target it, but maybe we can target whatever else it's enchanted. So there is some possibilities with this. A lot of the other creatures in here are going to have the death touchies because, well, we're fight spells. Fight spells means kills creatures. Bye bye, goodbye, see you later. Like the Ambush Viper, has flash speed for Death Toucher. So we can play this as attackers are done being declared, and before blockers are declared, we can flash this out and just be got you. Unless it has flying because it's a big dumb dragon, and then well we're just sad. Ankle Biter is kind of the same thing. It's just 1 mana for a 1/1 Death Touchy. Arbor Elf, Elvish Mystic, Llanowar Elves, they all just kind of help us ramp. Canker Bloom, he's pretty good at 2 mana for a 3/2 body. We can always yeet him to the graveyard to either A, proliferate, which our commander gets 1/1 counters, or blow up an artifact or blow up an enchantment. So Canker Bloom's got pretty good versatility in this deck. Deadly Recluse has reach and the Death Touch, so it makes people with their really big dumb dragons and angels and demons kind of think twice about coming our way. The Kuruk Wrangler, I really thought this was a hilarious card for this deck. So it has Magecraft, and it's from the Strixhaven set. It is 5 mana, so it is going to take a little bit to get out there, but hear me out. We are in green. So it says whenever you cast a spell or copy an instant or sorcery spell, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. So he acts like basically another version of our commander, except for the fact that it doesn't have to go on the Wrangler. We're able to put it on like our commander and just keep like exponentially growing our commander, which I found to be pretty interesting, which is why he's in the deck. The Hard Bristle Bandit is just a mana dork, but the fact that we're able to commit crimes by targeting our opponent's stuff here and there means we have the ability to untap it and keep at least 1 mana open at all times. Same, the Free Strider Lookout. Whenever you commit a crime, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a land from among them onto the battlefield tapped. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order, and this ability only triggers once each turn. So, it also has reach for a 3/3 body, so it's not bad. So every time we go to target our opponent with one of our things, we're able to get some kind of benefit out. So, kind of thought it'd be good to have that kind of benefit with some of the commit a crime mechanic. Forgotten Ancient, I mean, you should know what this thing does, and if you don't, well, count yourself lucky. So this says whenever a player, this includes you, casts a spell, put a 1/1 counter on the Ancient, and then at the beginning of our upkeep, we can move any number of those 1/1 counters from the Ancient onto another creature, like a certain Legolas. Yeah, this helps get leggy really biggy. Dragon Sniper is another little death-touching vigilance and reach creature. We really like it in the deck. I thought this would be a great add as well. This is Mirkwood Channeler. So it's a 4-mana 3/3 elf druid that says at the beginning of combat on your turn, target elf you control gains trample and gets +X/+X until end of turn for X of the number of force you control. So we could go to combat if there's no responses. Legolas could be at least 4 vigor already, making him a 5/9? No, a 5/8. And that's just if we haven't done anything else. Just play to land every single turn, and then he has trample. I mean, that's pretty spooky if you ask me. Poison Dart Frog is a death touchy reach mana dork, but you have to pay 2 mana to give him the death touchies. Rex Sage, kind of the same thing as Slime. It allows us to come into play and destroy target artifact or enchantment. Sereth, the Viper's Fang. Other tapped creatures you control have the Death Touch, and other untapped creatures you control have the Hexproof. So we can also pay 1, tap it to untap another target creature or land you control. So we can kind of almost instant speed give Legolas Hexproof at least once, as long as we're able to target him and untap him, and this thing is still on the battlefield. So I thought it'd be pretty neat to kind of have like surprise, but not really because it's right here and you saw it, but you didn't pay attention. Hexproof, bye-bye. Scavenging Ooze over here. I mean, it's really just to help with some of the graveyard shenanigans that are running wild on every format of Magic. So Scooze allows us to eat cards that are in our opponent's graveyards or even our own, and it helps keep some of them strategies in check. Treetop Snare Spinner, just a reach death-touching spider that we can sink mana into at any point in time, as long as it's sorcery speed. We can pay 2 and agree to put a 1/1 counter on target creature we control. So it allows us to help get Legolas bigger. Granted, we can only do it at sorcery speed. I mean, sorcery speed's better than nothing, I guess. Ooh, a lot of talking makes your mouth really, really dry. Next up, let's look at our sorcery package and see a little bit of what we got going on. So let's kind of start with our ramp. We have Scale the Heights, which is amazing in this deck, given our commander. So for 3 mana, we can put a 1/1 counter on up to 1 target creature. We gain 2 life, play an additional land, and draw a card. Mwah! Love it. We have Explore to go with it, so we can play an additional land and draw a card. We have Cultivate and Rampant Growth to help with our mana rampies. Harmonize to draw some more cards. And then we, of course, are running our fight spells with Bushwhack and Animus Might. The fun thing with the Animus Might is if we target our commander, this will actually only cost 1 mana instead of 3. And it's not quite a fight spell because it says target creature you control deals damage equal to twice its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. So it's not really a fight spell so much as what we call a bite spell. We're not looking to exchange blows, we're looking to end the blow. Bushwhack's been seeing a lot of playing standard for a while. For 1 mana, we can either go find a land to put in our hand, or we can have a creature we control fight another creature that we don't control. So it's pretty good in here. Our instance package is where things get really, really nutty. Bear with me, y'all. We have a lot to go with. First up, we'll just go ahead and start because the mouse is here. Beast Within. Blow something up, make a 3/3 beast in return. Ancient Animus. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. If it's a legendary, which we intend to, and then it fights target creature an opponent controls. Fight Down. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. Cosmic Hunger. Kinda does the exact same thing, only it includes battles. I added a couple of sneaky things to this deck because we are kind of a Voltron build. I added Defend the Hearth and Fog. Both of them prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. Though the Hearth only says players and Fog just says this turn. So a couple of little you think you got me kind of things, and I thought it'd be funny. Prize Fight. Our creature fights something we don't control, and we make a treasure. Excuse me. Master's Rebuke. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. You noticed a lot of these are not necessarily fight spells so much as instant speed, get your blocker out of my way, and then we can go to blocks kind of thing. Inscription Abundance has a couple of different modes, and we can choose one, but if we pay the additional 3 as we cast it, so a total of 5 mana, we could choose any number of these instead. So we have the following modes to choose from. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. We like this. Target player gains X life, where X is the greatest power among creatures they control. You never know, that might come in handy. Or target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. So we have a fight spell, a life gain spell, or just a straight up pump spell. Ideally, it'd be great to pay the full 5 mana and get all the modes and just be able to still go ham. Hunter's Insight. Whenever our creature deals combat damage to a player, we are going to be able to draw cards, because you could do this after blocks are declared and before damage, if I'm not mistaken. So we won't necessarily, well, no, I think they changed the way the rulings have changed. We would have to do it like, I think we have to do it like before blocks are declared or during blocks. I forget. They've changed the ruling, and I think that does affect us a little bit. But ideally, we're just going to put it on like Legolas, for instance, because he's probably going to be our biggest thing. And as long as we have a way for him to have trample or something, it's not going to matter. Hero allows us to sack a land to get 2 that are untapped, by the way. Gift of the Viper, it can put a 1/1 counter, a reach counter, a death touch counter on a creature, and untap it. Ram Through, it's another fight spell. Ranger's Guile, Hexproof, and a +1/+1. Return to Nature, blow up an artifact, enchantment, or instant speed, remove something from a graveyard. Instant speed with Royal Treatment, target creature you control gains Hexproof until end of turn, and we create a Royal Roll token attached to it, blah blah blah. We don't care about that. Kind of handy, I guess, but eh. Snakeskin Veil, if you play standard, you know what it does. If you don't, well then, it puts a 1/1 counter on a target creature you control, and then it gains Hexproof until end of turn. Titanic Brawl. So this costs 1 less to cast if we target a creature we control with a +1/+1 counter. Target creature you control fights a creature we don't, so it's another fight spell. We look upon Terrask. This has a couple of different modes, and it all depends on where we are in the game, which mode we would like to do. So for 5 mana and instant speed, we can either run and hide, so prevent all damage that would be dealt to you and creatures you control this turn. Might be beneficial. I don't know. And then we have Gather Your Courage. Target creature gets +5/+5, gains indestructible until end of turn, and all creatures your opponents control that are able to block must block this creature. Holy baby Jesus. That means we can make Legolas ridiculously huge and just be like, nope, bye 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 bye. So good. Of course, Tyvar Stand, we're able to give a creature +X/+X and gain indestructible hexproof until end of turn. Trash the Town. So for 1 mana, we are going to, excuse me, the weather out here is so beautiful with it being rainy. Unfortunately, it makes me a little bit on the sleepy side. Does that happen to y'all? Comments. Does rain make you sleepy too, or is it just me? Maybe it's a Floridian thing. I did live in Florida for half my life. Anyway, let's jump back into Trash the Town. So it has Spree, and we'll have to pay additional mana for each mode we would like to do. So we can either put 2 1/1 counters on a creature, we can make a creature gain trample, or until end of turn, target creature gains whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw 2. Not bad. A little bit of everything that we want to do in our deck. So you can see our instance package. We're pretty good about being able to interact and do some things here and there. Let's move on down to our wonderful artifacts. Pretty common of what you would see. No, there's actually no Soul Ring in the deck because I don't think it actually needs it. I mean, we are mono green. We care a lot about our green pips, so we're not trying to like top in play like, you know, this 9 mana dragon or 7 mana behemoth or anything. We're just trying to play a bunch of spells to target a commander, make him huge, turn him sideways. That's all we really care about. So for that reason, we don't have a Soul Ring or like an Emerald Medallion or anything because we're trying to get our commander out ASAP. But we do run Arcane Signet, Mind Stone, Prismatic Lens, Commander Sphere, and a Felwar Stone, as well as a Bandit's Hull, which says whenever you commit a crime, put a loot counter on this, and this ability triggers only once each turn. And then you could tap it to add 1 mana of any color, or pay 2, tap it, remove 2 of the loot counters, and draw a card. Shouldn't be that hard to get that up and going. We're running the swiftest of the booties. We're running an oldie but a goodie, the Loxodon Warhammer. And if you haven't seen this card, oh, she used to be so good. This used to be like way back in Mirrodin days. Yeah, man, I'm showing my age. But way back in the Mirrodin days when I was still playing 60 card casual format with my friends and my family, this thing was a problem. This is way back before we actually understood more about the game, you know, like removal and things like that. Like this thing was a problem because it gives target creature +3/+0 trample and the lifelink for just 3 mana to play, 3 mana to equip. The trauma, holy crap, trauma. Oh god, it's all coming back to me now. No. Yeah, this was a problem back in my early days of Magic. And then when Commander became a thing, you didn't really see it too much as it got more and more refined. In the early days of Commander, it was everywhere, especially for like red or red black or even red black X decks, because it was really hard for most of them that weren't running white and at least some kind of green to be able to keep their life total up. Because that, I mean, we were barbaric back in those times. Man, do I miss them though. It wasn't all about who had the biggest, baddest gun. It was about who could withstand the slog fest the most. And man, did a hammer come in handy. Our last artifact though is Lash Wire, the Live Wire Lash, and it says equipped creature gets +2/+0. Great. And then that has whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell, this creature does 2 damage to any target. Wait, hold up. Hold the phone. So you're telling me every time we target our commander, not only does he get bigger, fight something, and then we get to nug someone or something for 2 more damage? Yeah, give me a piece. Give me a piece of that life total. So I thought it'd be a great card to just kind of synergize with what we're doing over here. Next up, we have our enchantment package, which is quite lovely if I do say so myself. Blanchwood Armor will give a creature that we enchant this with +1/+1 for each forest we control. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-binary folks, cats, dogs, birds, whatever you might be on the internet. We're mono green. Guess what we have a lot of? Force. Guess what? Our commander can get really big, really fast. Yep. Rancor is a repeatable way to give +2/+0 to trample as long as it's already been enchanted on something. Because when Rancor is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return it to its owner's hand. Now, if they counter it, we're SOL. But if it lands on a creature and that creature stops to exist at some point, and it forces our Rancor to go to the graveyard, sweet, we get it back. Season of Growth, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under our control, scry 1, that's fine, that's great, but more importantly, whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, you draw a card. Love it! What we're all about. Stink Umbra, when the enchanted creature will get a +1/+1 and has whenever this creature deals damage to an opponent, you may draw a card. This actually means, hold on, let me go back and read this. Yes, this gives the equipped creature the ability of the Lash. So if we were to have this and the Lash equipped and we started targeting Legolas with something, we're able to nug somebody for some damage, draw a card, and just keep the train going. What's not to like here? Stocking the Pantry was a nice budget card to throw into here. So whenever you put 1 or more +1/+1 counters on a creature you control, put a supply counter on this. And then you can pay to remove a counter to draw a card. I mean, just a really neat Bloombro, like, secret good card, I guess you could say, especially budget friendly, to hopefully draw some extra cards here and there with all the counters we're going to be doing. Finally, we have Wild Defiance. I'm sorry. Apparently, I really cannot read tonight. So this 3-mana enchantment says whenever a creature you control becomes the target of an instant or sorcery spell, that creature gets a +3/+3 until their turn. Ladies and gentlemen, what did he just say? Yeah. So not only does Legolas going to give himself a +1/+1 counter when we target him with something, this thing says, oh, by the way, let's make him bigger by giving him an additional +3/+3. On top of all the other boohoo, bogus, wacky, jacky, meanie thingies we got going on here. Yes, I said meanie thingies. You can laugh at that right now, and I know you are, because it's funny. So, as you can see, we're not quite Voltron. We're like a hidden secret Voltron build, and I think it'll be kind of fun. I'm not going to sit here and say you're going to take over a table by any means, but I think you can have a lot of fun with the deck. Land package is pretty standard. We're running Command Tower because I don't know why. Field of Ruin to blow up something. That actually came in handy on a tournament that we were doing this previous Saturday at my local game store. Somebody actually had one of my spooky lands that I talked about, which if you haven't seen that video, go check it out on the channel. I made a video about the spooky lands that you will find playing Magic the Gathering Commander, and why you will see every deck tech video has at least one form of land destruction in it. Unless it's one of my personal decks, then it's kind of 50-50 because, you know, I've only got so many of them, y'all, and I tend to burn through them a lot because I have a lot of decks. I might have a problem, just maybe. I don't have a problem, you have a problem. Anyway, One of the spooky lands that was out on the battlefield was the Glacial Chasm. And if you don't know what it is, you can either A, look it up yourself, or B, seriously, please, go. After this video, go. Go click on that spooky lands in Commander. Just go do it after this video. Watch another video and make me so happy, please. Please? Fine, don't. We also run 32 Forest, Rogue's Passage, and a Terramorphic Expanse. Rogue's Passage would be great to be able to slam down and just be like, now he's unblockable, and he's going to whack you upside the head. As you can see, our mana curve is extremely low. We're really high in the 1s, 2s, and 3s, and then 4s and 5s, we just politely dive down. Pardon me. So we can get up and going pretty quick. And I know what you wanted. Well, Buddha, what would you do if you're going to upgrade the deck beyond the budget? Well, this is how I would do it. First of all, we have Venerated Rot Priest. So whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell, target opponent gets a +1/+1 counter. Did we mention we enjoy targeting our stuff with our spells? Yeah. A big ticket item with Vigor. So if you've never seen a Vigor out in the wild, or if you've never heard of this card, why'd I do this to myself? This is another one that back in my early days of Magic, man, this thing used to give me such a headache. It has Trample, it's 6 mana for a 6/6. Yeah, that sounds great, but we're not really looking to attack with this guy, because it says if damage will be dealt to a creature you control other than Vigor, grant that damage and put a 1/1 counter on each one on that creature for each 1 point of damage done this way. And it also has, if it would die, put it into its graveyard put it from its graveyard into its owner's library, and yes, that includes if it's milled, discarded, whatever. It can keep coming back unless somebody exiles it. So you kind of can understand why that was a pain in my butt in my early days, don't you? You could actually get a few other creatures in the deck, and you could switch it up. And you could run Overwhelming Stampede, which will give trample and +X/+X to all of your creatures, where X is the biggest thing you own. Probably going to be the Legolas. Arachnogenesis, it got a huge and much needed reprint in the Duskmourn Recon, which was featuring Winter, I believe. So you can create X1112, not 1/1. Create X12 spider creature tokens with reach, where X is the number of creatures attacking you. Prevent all combat damage will be dealt this turn by non-spiders. So, unless somebody's fighting a changeling deck or a dedicated spider deck, you're gonna be safe. We have Hardened Scales, which you should know what it does. It basically adds an additional 1/1 counter for every 1 counter we're able to get. The Canopy cover, we can enchant this onto a creature. Enchanted creature can't be blocked except by flying or reach, and enchanted creature's ability that enchanted creature can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control. So it gives our creature hexproof and the ability to punch through. What's not to like about this, y'all? No, skip it. Ozolith, the Shattered Spire, whenever you get a 1/1 counter on something, you get an additional 1, so it's not bad, just a little bit of value. Finally, there is the Basilisk Collar, which, if you don't know what this card does, again, kind of count yourself lucky. Oh no, wrong button. Yay, right button. So for 1 mana, we get an artifact equipment that says equip 2, and then equipped creature will have Death Touch and Lifelink. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yep, that makes our commander really, really spooky. But that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary folk, children of all ages. This is the Legolas, the Master Archer. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll have the deck list in the description as well. By the way, if you've made it this far in the video, please hit that like button. It's only a 0-1 plant. Subscribe, because it also is a 0-1 plant. And you have first strike, so I know you can take down the 1/1 creature that is the bell icon to get notified of new videos and new things we do on our channel. So, yeah, like, share, subscribe, ring that bell, leave me some comments, tell me some other decks you're wanting to see, probably as a budget, because anybody can build decks with no budget. And most of the time, they're going to go off and just do horrible, nasty things to people. But can we do something close to that on a $1 or less budget per card? That's why I challenge myself, and that's why I enjoy doing this. So let me know. Let me know, because I generally want to hear. I have been the Buddha Dragon. Don't forget, rub that belly for mana, and may all your games be filled with magic. Until the next time, good luck.